unless that's related to the alcohol. Go ahead.
Just about the alcohol, that study hasn't been conclusively accepted or proven yet.
Okay.
And then there's another one that disputes it, so it's still ongoing.
Right.
So it isn't.
Okay, is this about alcohol?
Yes, I just think it's interesting that the Quran says that there are benefits also to alcohol and to gambling.
Excellent.
Ways that
Thank you. So, Omar, right? So basically, when someone tells you, yeah, the study shows that alcohol reduces fat from your eyeballs or whatever it is, so no problem. I know that because the Quran actually said that there is good and there is bad in it. Say now realistically, it's talking about wine, and there's not the good is actually not in the alcohol. If you're talking about wine, and that study is with wine. Yeah, it studies with wine. So there are actually antioxidants in the wine, not in the alcohol itself. And so but Allah tells us that there is good and there is bad in it. But the bad outweighs the good. So if you're telling me that there's some good in it, now I might ask you worldwide, is it benefiting more livers or harming more livers? No doubt it's harming more livers. That's why Allah tells us that the bad in it outweighs the good. And then it destroys your wealth, and then it takes away your dignity and your honor and so many things. So we know that there is good. Allah told us that many years ago before your journal came out with this study. So we know it, but the bad outweighs it. So that's not a problem, So that's why, okay, someone else had their hand up about this, yeah?
No, it's not about alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
It's something else.
Okay.
Actually, it's something I'm not sure if I can mention granted name, but it's for the benefit of all of us.
Very well.
There's a question that a Muslim asked me why Islam prevented the gay, and that this is a genetics, and some people are naturally that, and so on.
Okay. So
By a Muslim.
Jazakallah khair. Very good. You guys don't have those Fatiha people here, do you? No? You know how they used to get, it's a Muslim gay group, yeah. And you know how they used to get followers? The guy would get on a masjid email list and he would say, can you believe it? There's this, there's a bunch of gays when they're having support groups and they believe they can still be Muslim and gay. This is their link. These people, that's what this is their leader. He would send this email, and then everyone in the masjid list would get it, and then the closet gay brothers would click on that link and then join the support group, So anyways, okay, let me do this. Let me finish my... Okay, well, actually, since we're doing facts and statistics, by the way, science in the Quran falls under this category, right? Science in the Quran, let's talk about it right now. It has a few issues with it, okay? There are actually, legitimate science books in the library, not written about Islam or with the idea of Islam in mind, just written about science, that have things contradicting to all the scientific facts that are in A Brief Illustrated Guide to Understanding Islam. Everything from the mountains as pegs to the plate tectonics to the oceanography, many things contradicting to that. So not all science is science, and maybe that's. Actually, we're having a webinar tomorrow, I think. So maybe I'll get the information if anyone wants to listen to that. We're going to talk about that not all science is science. So when you use science in the Quran, be careful. All right, try to use the very, very clear, strong things that don't get you to too much dispute. Science in the Quran is one of the tools you use to prove the veracity of the message, or to prove that the Quran wasn't written by the Prophet. And it's not necessarily what will get people to become Muslim. And a lot of du'at think that's what will get people to become Muslim. You tell them there's this scientific fact and it's in the Quran. And I remember one person was telling me, this lawyer came in, she said, okay, why should I become a Muslim? So he immediately said, there is a lot of science in the Quran. She said, stop. She said, I'm not going to become Muslim because there's science in the Quran. What will Islam do for me? So sometimes we use science in the Quran to prove, like we were doing yesterday, the Prophet ﷺ couldn't have written the Quran. He had to have been a genuine Prophet of Allah. But I'm not never say never with da'wah, but I've yet to hear of any story of some guy who became Muslim just because of the science in the Quran. And you would think that any human being, once they read, let's say that you give them a book that has all the signs in the Quran, when they're convinced that, okay, this book must be from Allah, what do you think their next step is? Okay, let's see what it says about everything else. Let's see what it says about me and worshipping Allah and Allah Azza wa Jalla Himself, subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, signs in the Quran is one of the things you add on to your da'wah, or you supplement your da'wah with. It's not your da'wah. It's not. It really isn't. Okay? It's one of the things. So, facts, statistics, excellent examples. Everyone gave examples, so we all see how you can use facts to support, your arguments. And let's go into talking about gays, and we can use science again and facts. So some people say that it's a gene, all right? And any doctors in the house? Any people studying medicine? Come on, Calgary, what's going on? That's weird. That's strange. Okay, good. I'm happy actually. I'm tired of MDs. So let's use. So now they tell you that. Well, look at this. Where should we start? There's so many arguments against this. One, they tell you that God created me in this way, or it's a gene. First of all, science has not proven that it's a gene. There is no scientific argument whatsoever, ever, that it's a gene. Two, for sure, 100%, there will never, ever be any science to prove that it is a gene. Why? Because Allah Azza wa Jalla says in Surah Al-A'raf, قُلْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَأْمُرُ بِالْفَحْشَاءِ أَتَقُولُونَ عَلَى اللَّهِ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Allah Azza wa Jalla does not command evil. Yani, why would Allah create someone with a gene that makes him gay and then take him to the hellfire for the way He created him? Does that sound fair to you? Never. قُلْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَأْمُرُ بِالْفَحْشَاءِ. Allah doesn't command evil. So if Allah created him with the evil gene in him, that means Allah is commanding him to that evil, and then punishes him for the way He made him, subhanahu wa ta'ala. Doesn't make sense. So that's why science will never, ever prove that it's a gene. Another reason scientifically why science will never prove that it's a gene, because how many chromosomes does a human being have?
23.
None? 23?
23 pairs.
None?
23 pairs.
23 pairs. So 46, right? So now, with identical twins, if you know this fact or not, identical twins have the same exact chromosomes. They have done studies where identical twins, one of them was straight and the other was gay. Thank you. One of them was straight, the other was gay. And so they have the exact identical genes or chromosomes, yet one is gay and one is straight. So that means it can't be a gene. You understand this, right? And you know, by the way, that they can see the human chromosomes. They can actually see them. And so you can see both are exactly the same, and yet one is gay and the other is not, which means that it's something mental, and that's why there are actually clinics now where people go and they go through therapy and then they come out hetero and they get married and they have children and they never return to the wicked deed again. You see? So that means the fact that you can be cured from it shows you that it's an illness to begin with, and it's actually a mental illness. If you want to look up, there's his doctor, his name is Joseph Nicolosi, like Nicolosi. Yeah? Look him up, it's amazing. He has a clinic and it's quite popular. People go and they get treatment and they come out normal. And he traces, homosexuality to be alienation from males or from male peers, and from males in the earlier part of life and from male peers in the latter part of life. And he traces it to psychology. It's not a gene. Allah did not create people in a way and then punish them for being the way He created them. It doesn't make any sense. So, and beyond that, they've never located this gene. I mean, how many genes are there in one human being? They look at all of them and they can't see the gay gene. Where is it hiding? So, it's him in the closet too. There are also logical arguments against it, Logical arguments against it. Have you read the argument? They tell you, it's available in the animal kingdom. First of all, I'm still in doubt of that. I've never... Go ahead.
I think it was Sheikh Bilal Phillips. He talked about those arguments that it's in the animal kingdom. It was either the animal proof or the gene proof, but he said that somebody published a paper on that and it was put in medical journals, but later on it was proven that all their research was faulty and they didn't no one went over that research as well. But also, another argument against the animal kingdom, one is, let's say there are animals, let's just say there is an animal that exhibits homosexual behavior. That's one animal in the entire animal kingdom, and also there are animals that eat their young.
Jazakallah. Thank you.
And
those are the exact ones I was coming to Barakallah. Yani, look, forget one animal that's gay. I don't care if there's a herd of 1,000,000 zebras who are all homos, okay? Since when on earth is the animal kingdom a guide and a model for us? And if there's 1,000,000 homo zebras, that we should be homos or something? If animals eat other animals, we should eat other people? You know, animals go, when you go to the zoo, an animal just lifts its tail and drop, it's. Now, do we act like, since when are animals role models for us? I don't care what they do. There hasn't been any study that has proven that. But suppose all the animals on earth were gay. So first of all, they would all be dead within 30 years, no animals would exist. So just logically, no species can continue with that, So, and I'm sorry, we're going to cut it off with the gay argument here. But of course, you can look it up. Every argument has already been done. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. But I just wanted to tell you the story of when I was there. You know what a gaydar is? So, your ability to detect a gay person, your radar, gaydar. So I have very, very weak gaydar. And anyone have a strong gaydar? Yeah? My younger brother, he doesn't have to go beyond this to know that person is gay. He's got a very strong gaydar. For me, we're giving dawah in the street and I'm talking to this guy. And I keep talking to him, going over the basics. Makes sense? Makes sense. I go for the gold. He says, I can't. My lifestyle won't allow it. I said, sure it can. And I keep talking to him. Then I go for the gold again. He says, my lifestyle won't allow it. I said, no, don't worry about it, this and that. And then again I go for the gold. He says, my lifestyle won't allow it. I said, what lifestyle, ya akhi? I said, look, I've been doing this for years. I've been talking to people. I've never heard somebody say lifestyle. What is your lifestyle? I said, I'm gay. And only after he said that did I suddenly realize that the guy is wearing a pink t-shirt and he's also got that gay sleeve. It's not like here and it's not cut, it's like this. You know what I'm talking about? Only then I start to notice that and how he's standing and how his bones are loose, how gays have loose bones, So then, there was that second of, and then you know what? What do you do?
Leave him.
What do you do? Leave him. What do you do after that? Yes, sir.
Give more dawah to homosexuality.
Okay. Now, good. Now, you know what? He kept saying my lifestyle. You know the truth is, it's not a lifestyle. It's not. It's just a desire. Don't accept the argument that it's a lifestyle. It's a desire. Since when is a desire a lifestyle? I don't ask Ziyad, what's your lifestyle? Oh, I'm hetero. Why isn't hetero a lifestyle? And gay is a lifestyle. Homo is a lifestyle and hetero is not? It's not a lifestyle, it's just a desire. And since when the people ask me, Brother Kamal, what's your lifestyle? Wallahi, sushi, I desire sushi, I like sushi. But it's not a lifestyle. Since when is a desire a lifestyle? They're putting too much, they're giving it too much, this thing. It's just a dirty desire. And it's not, don't make it a lifestyle. And but in a way, in a weird way, they are a little smart when it comes to becoming known. They have made it a right, see? And so that they have the gay rights movement. And because, in the States at least, people are so attached to people having their rights and everyone wants everyone to have a right and there's so much, everything, people think everything is a right and it's not sometimes. But it's my right to do this and it's actually not your right to do it. But so the gay movement has become a rights movement. And that's why now they get support for it and they get all kinds of things. While it was actually known to be a mental illness since as early as 1938 has been diagnosed as a mental illness. And as early as Freud. And the DSM, which is this manual that psychologists put out every year, and it has any psychologists in the audience? Okay, good. You know that. So the DSM, yeah, it's used here, right? So it used to list all the mental illnesses. Every year homosexuality was listed as